We want freedom, democracy, and the right to vote. Go on strike at school and work. Remove dictator and national traitor Xi Jinping. This is a short video posted on the social media platform X on July 30th. The location is on a pedestrian bridge in Xinhua County, Lodi, Hunan. While playing a recording, the protester also displayed a banner that read, "We don't want privileges. We want democracy. We don't want lockdowns. We want freedom. We don't want lies. We want dignity. We don't want cultural revolution. We want reform. We don't want dictatorial leaders. We want elections. We don't want to be slaves. We want to be citizens." In the limited footage, you can see people stopping to watch under the bridge, and some shopkeepers coming out of their stores to try to read the slogans on the banner. Upon analysis, the protest took place at 85 Tianhua Middle Road in Xinhua County, Lodi City, Hunan Province, 1 kilometer from the local county public security bureau, and 3 kilometers from the Xinhua County government offices. The video, posted under the account Teacher Lee is Not Your Teacher on X, garnered numerous comments from internet users. Some showed support and praise, while others expressed concern for the safety of those who hung the banner. One user commented that it was a courageous thing to do, thumbs up for them. But they wouldn't recommend those in China to sacrifice themselves so fearlessly. There's nothing wrong with hanging the banner when the night is darkest to protect yourself. Another user said that this act is undoubtedly a direct challenge to the CCP rule and a release of long-suppressed public opinion under its dictatorship. Ironically, the CCP claims to serve the people, but it always quickly suppresses genuine expressions of public opinion. This banner is more than a protest. It's a mirror exposing the regime's hypocrisy and fear. The people's voice cannot be suppressed for long. Other comments include, "Someone has sparked a flame. One day it will spread like wildfire. This is the final belt. Unite for tomorrow." Not only a banner, but also a broadcast. Even braver than the previous guy, Peng Lifa. Impressive. The CCP thought disappearing Peng Lifa would be enough, but they didn't expect more fearless people to follow. And this is courageous and worthy of respect. But it's sad that apart from the videographer, no one was willing to stop and take a look. This indifference is truly tragic. A comment posted by the Revolt Times resonated with many people. It said, "We want freedom, we want democracy, we want the right to vote. This outcry is the eruption of a long-suppressed volcano." Some say this is like an ant trying to stop a car or an ant trying to shake a tree. Yes, one person's strength may be insignificant, but when more Sitong bridge warriors stand up, when more of the silent ones raise their voices, they will form an unstoppable tide of history. You might not be ready to take to the streets. You might be worried about your safety, and that's okay. Resistance doesn't always have to be dramatic. In your seemingly peaceful life, you can still make a powerful noise. Share a news story to help more people learn the truth. Amplify the voices of the affected. Leave your comments online. Let the world know you're not fighting alone. Remember, what authoritarianism fears most isn't guns, but the awakening of the people. Every small action is a stand against injustice and a yearning for freedom. One day we will see true freedom and democracy. According to a report by Chinese human rights organization Wei Quan Wang on August 2nd, the video of the protester on the bridge was quickly shared on overseas platforms, with one tweet by Teacher Lee is Not Your Teacher receiving over 4.4 million views. In response, the Chinese authorities were extremely alarmed, sending officers from the Ministry of Public Security to Hunan to handle the case and intensifying stability measures nationwide to prevent similar incidents. It's reported that this protester has been arrested. He is a 22-year-old university student from Xinhua County. A user with the account name Toronto Bigface said, "It's another Sitong bridge warrior. There's a story that says, if just 3.5% of a population is willing to protest, a dictator can be overthrown. With China's economic decline, there will surely be more and more resistors." Many have compared this protest to Peng Lifa's protest 2 years ago. Media outlets like Radio Free Asia, Voice of America, and Radio France International have also linked this incident to the Sitong Bridge protest in Haidian, Beijing on October 13, 2022. The Sitong Bridge protest was Peng Lifa, also known online as Peng Zaizhou. He hung 2 banners on the bridge, one which read, "We don't want COVID tests, we want food to eat. We don't want lockdowns, we want freedom. We don't want lies. We want dignity. We don't want cultural revolution. We want reform. We don't want dictatorial leaders. We want elections. We don't want to be slaves. We want to be citizens. The other banner read, "Go on strike at school and work. Remove dictator and national traitor Xi Jinping." He also used loudspeakers and burned tires to attract attention. His bold act of directly expressing the people's political demands and targeting the top leaders of the CCP caused widespread shock and admiration from those inside and outside of China. After hanging the banners, Peng Lifa calmly stayed on Sitong Bridge, waiting for the police to arrest him. His current whereabouts are unknown. It was reported that shortly after the incident, the road sign for Sitong Bridge also disappeared. Despite censorship, Chinese internet users widely shared videos and images of the event across social media platforms, calling the banner holder a warrior and a true Chinese man. The CCP's censors quickly removed posts about anti-lockdown and anti-Xi Jinping banners. Posts tagged with Beijing or Haidian were also reportedly deleted from Chinese microblogging site Weibo. In December 2022, the Chinese Democratic Education Foundation in San Francisco awarded Peng Lifa the Distinguished Person for Advancing Democracy in China Award in absentia, recognizing his bravery, wisdom, and courage. In 2023, Peng Lifa was named one of the 100 most influential people in the world by Time magazine. On October 13, 2023, the U.S. House Select Committee on Competition with the CCP Chairman Gallagher nominated Peng Lifa for the Nobel Peace Prize. It's been a year and a half since Peng Lifa's Sitong Bridge incident, but Chinese authorities still refuse to disclose his whereabouts. His relatives and friends are likely under strict surveillance and lockdown by the authorities. In a report from September last year, Voice of America stated that activists and volunteers have been continuously searching for information about Peng Lifa. They have discovered signs indicating that Peng's wife and daughter, who used to live with him in Beijing, have been sent back to Peng's rural hometown in Heilongjiang for surveillance. Information about their family, local public security, and fellow villagers has been tightly controlled. According to Radio France International, activist Lin Chengliang in the Netherlands, who closely follows Peng Lifa's case, said that Peng's wife, Han Yang, and their daughter, Peng Yuning, are currently imprisoned in Group 737, a Xinjiang village in Tailai County, Heilongjiang Province. To verify if Peng's wife and daughter were indeed confined there, Lin sent a package to Han Yang at the address, but it was undeliverable. Apparently, police and plainclothes officers are stationed outside the village and at the entrance to the area. When he called the local police station to ask why the package was undeliverable, they repeatedly questioned his identity. Based on the fact that there is police presence at their doorstep, withheld packages, checkpoints at the village entrance, and the disappearance or forced silence of Peng Lifa's relatives and friends, Lin concluded that the Chinese authorities are currently imposing a strict lockdown on Peng Lifa's family. This level of surveillance surpasses even that experienced by blind human rights activist Chen Guangchen during his imprisonment. Analysts pointed out that the anti-Xi banner incident in Xinhua County, Hunan, is related to the comprehensive economic downturn in China over the past 2 years and the government's intensified control over the population. Voice of America reported that after the pandemic, the expected strong economic rebound did not occur. Instead, China entered an unprecedented prolonged downturn in over 40 years of economic reform. The collapse of the real estate market affected many sectors of the economy, combined with deteriorating international relations, sluggish exports, and mounting government debt. The three major drivers of China's economic growth have all stalled simultaneously, leading to plummeting housing prices, soaring unemployment, and widespread factory closures, putting immense pressure on everyday people's lives. The Xinhua County incident is just another outcry from Chinese citizens against their deteriorating living conditions. Collective rights defense actions have been occurring frequently across China. Among the protesters are wealthy investors, middle-class teachers and homeowners, and workers and farmers from the lower strata of society, all fighting against an authoritarian regime to protect their rights. In Hubei, from May 23rd to the 24th, the collapse of the Zhenshenkang Fund by Norland Biological Engineering prevented investors from withdrawing their money. Zhenshenkang members gathered in various locations in Hubei, including Badong, Yuchang, and Xiangyang, to defend their rights. Founded in 2003, Norland Biological Engineering received a direct sales license from China's Ministry of Commerce in 2015, becoming the 72nd company in China to be licensed for direct sales, primarily engaged in the pharmaceutical manufacturing industry. The company has been involved in promoting itself as a Green New Consumption National Pilot Unit and has received endorsements from multiple government officials. However, it has been accused by investors of deceiving tens of thousands of members, leading many to lose their life savings. In Hunan, from May 25th to June 16th, hundreds of investors from High Inspirational International repeatedly gathered at the Henyang city government in Hunan, demanding the early resolution and return of frozen funds. Investors said that 3 years ago, the Henyang Public Security Bureau labeled Hai Hui International as a pyramid scheme to extort money by freezing all investors' funds. The case remains unresolved to this day.
High-in fraud. Call for an investigation.
High-in fraud. Call for an investigation. High-in fraud. Call for an investigation. In Shanghai, on July 12th, investors in Haiyin Wealth gathered once again in front of the Economic Investigation Division of the Shanghai Public Security Bureau. They chanted slogans such as Haiyin fraud, call for an investigation, demanding that the police file a case. This was the latest round of protests since Haiyin's collapse last December. As usual during the protest, investors were met with police suppression, with all protesters being forcibly taken to Fengshan district for house arrest. During the confinement, one investor collapsed on the spot due to physical exhaustion as the police refused to provide food. In Shanxi, on June 25th, teachers at Hanzhou Experimental School of Beijing Normal University in Shaanxi went on strike due to months of unpaid wages, pension insurance, and housing provident fund. A person who seemed to be a leader, backed by the police, demanded that the protesting teachers go inside to talk. In Shandong, from June 25th to the 26th, hundreds of homeowners at Shanlong Shoufu Properties in Jinshan County, Jinning, Shandong, protested for 2 consecutive days against the property management renting out the community gate to the neighboring committee without their consent. On the 26th, the protest was suppressed by the police, and over 10 homeowners were arrested. Videos showed that even special police units were deployed against the unarmed residents. In Guangdong, do you see this? Bandits, the police are bandits, using violent law enforcement. Look at how many police are here. On June 25th, in Taigongling village, Dongguan, Guangdong province, the village committee set up checkpoints around the village, charging parking fees to non-locals and conspiring with the police to suppress the resisting tenants. Many tenants angrily called the police bandits. The video showed more than 10 police officers forcibly lifting a person with other people being arrested by the police. In Chengdu, on June 25th, in Guoyang village, Chengdu, Sichuan, the local government forcibly fenced off and prepared to demolish homes without the homeowners' consent, hiring thugs to suppress the protesting homeowners. An elderly person was forcibly carried away by several people. Onlookers questioned the identity of those enforcers on the scene.
This group of people has surrounded our house. We haven't signed the agreement yet. Are you security guards, police, or gangsters? What are these uniforms you're wearing? I have no idea who these people are. Look at their clothes, everyone. Take a look. We haven't signed yet.
The group also assaulted elderly people and women. In Yunnan, on May 28th to the 29th, local time, villagers from the Mulu residential area in Zaoyang district, Zaotong City, Yunnan province, launched a 2-day blockade, clashing violently with thugs hired by the developers. Several villagers were injured in the conflict. Many villagers posted on social media describing themselves as villagers from groups 8 to 11 of the Mulu residential area. They said the local government forcibly demolished their homes over 10 years ago, but has yet to provide resettlement, leaving them homeless and displaced for years. Since February this year, the villagers have initiated multiple rights protection activities, hoping the local government would fulfill its promises, but with little success. On May 28th, desperate villagers started a new round of protests, gathering at the entrance of Zhengtong, Shanghe, Yunnan construction site to stop further construction. This is because the land used for the development was the same land forcibly taken from them years ago. The local government did not respond positively to the villagers' actions, and the developers hired a large number of thugs to try and drive away the protesting villagers. A fierce conflict erupted at the construction site entrance, resulting in several villagers being injured and falling to the ground. During the clash, one thug drove a loader toward the villagers and used the loader's bucket to splash water on them. Despite the violent actions of the developers, the villagers did not give in and escalated their protest by setting up tents at the construction site entrance on the 29th, intending to stay long-term. They clashed again with thugs who tried to dismantle their tents. The protest continued, and by June 24th, another intense conflict erupted between the villagers and the government personnel. Villagers shouted, "The bandits are beating people, the Communist Party is beating people, Xi Jinping's people are beating people." In Hubei, on June 26, hundreds of employees went on strike to demand their unpaid wages from the e-commerce company Daewoo's warehouse in Langfang City, Hubei province. Riot police with shields stood ready. The workers' protest lasted into the night and was suppressed by a large number of security personnel and police. As of now, the employees still have not received their overdue wages. In Shanghai, a video circulated on X in mid-July 2024 showing an auxiliary police officer finding a Meituan delivery rider on the streets of Shanghai, even taking the rider's phone, which the rider managed to take back. The auxiliary police officer did give up and took the keys from the rider's electric bike, effectively cutting off his means of livelihood. Cornered, the rider angrily threw the officer to the ground, shouting, This outburst from the delivery rider indirectly reflects the possible consequences of the numerous rights protection protests erupting across China under the CCP's oppressive rule. From north to south to east to west, China is currently facing a wave of business closures, high unemployment rates, a collapsed real estate market, and declining land transfer income, leaving the national treasury empty and local government revenues sharply reduced. Local governments, abusing their power, impose ridiculous fines on citizens for various absurd reasons to increase income, causing widespread public resentment. The CCP recently concluded the third plenary session, during which Han Wen-shu, the Executive Deputy Director of the Central Financial and Economic Affairs Office, responsible for fiscal and economic policy planning, addressed the current local fiscal challenges on July 19th. He said that China needs to increase local financial autonomy, expand local tax sources, and enhance the alignment between city and county financial power and their responsibilities. Han Wen-shu's remarks were interpreted by outsiders as the central government allowing local governments to generate their own income, indulging them in violently extorting money from the people. This approach is seen as lighting a fuse, forcing many people to revolt across the country.